Well, the Agriculture Department has confirmed that over 1 million chickens have been culled across the country due to the rapid spread of the avian flu outbreak. The country is currently experiencing 2 outbreaks. That's the avian influenza HPA H5 and H7. Gauteng currently has the highest number of cases. For more on this, we're joined this morning by Dr. Mpho Maja, who is the Director of Animal Health at the Department of Agriculture. Dr. Maja, it's great to talk to you again. When you and I last spoke, you said that we weren't quite at the stage where we were talking about, chicken or egg shortages. Has that changed, given that it seems it's gotten worse and worse?
Good morning and good morning to the viewers. That has not changed from the figures that we have in the department. And I need to hasten to add that it looks like the numbers that we have that have been reported to us and the numbers that the Poultry Association have don't tally. We had a conversation with them last week with regards to matching the figures that we have. But the other reason that I'm saying that it is not likely that we will have shortages is that there's some interventions that we are working or facilitating that industry is embarking on. For example, the broiler industry is importing fertile eggs for hatching this side so that we can have a supply of meat. And I'm sure that the egg industry would look at something similar, which we will facilitate as well.
So what are the numbers that you have, Dr. Maja? Because I've actually got 2 sets of numbers here in front of me. On the one hand, that the Agriculture Department confirmed that over 1 million chickens have been culled. And then one producer, Quantum Food, said that it's lost almost 2 million chickens just this year, worth more than 100 million rand. What are the figures that you have, Dr. Maja?
We have close to 2 million chickens that have been culled in both outbreaks. As you indicated earlier, we are dealing with 2 separate outbreaks, an H5 and an H7. Mm-hmm. So the figures that we are currently sitting with, yes, it's over 2 million.
And it's the worst outbreak on record. Is that true? That's certainly what producers are saying on their part.
And I think that is where we say that the numbers don't tally, because when we compare this outbreak to the outbreak that we had 2017 as well as 2022, the numbers of affected farms is similar.
Okay.
But yes, the outbreak is severe. I fully appreciate that, and I agree with industry. No outbreak can be undermined.
Mm. And what's making it so difficult to get this one under control, Dr. Maja?
The H7 is particularly proving to be difficult to control. Unlike H5, I used to say H5 kills birds dead. H7 is very, very slow, so it doesn't show that you are infected for more than a week or so. So in that period, the suspicion is that because the farm owners are not aware that they have infection, they continue to move between houses, between sites, even between farms. That way they spread the infection because they do not know that they have infection. There's also another thought that it is moving with the wind far much easier than the H5 does. We are still to prove that.
So the way forward, Dr. Maja, I understand that there are a number of farms that are under quarantine. What do the next few weeks and months look like?
We are working with industry looking at the possibility of vaccinating. It will have to be 2 distinct vaccines, H5 and H7 vaccines. The H5 dossiers have already been submitted for registration. H7 vaccine is still under production. So that's one of the things that we are looking at to calm down the situation. But the farms that are under quarantine, they are not allowed to move birds into, out of, or through the premises. They also cannot move out eggs unless they're going for treatment such as pasteurization. so that we safeguard the consumer. I also need to add, so that I don't create fear and panic, that these two outbreaks do not affect people. The only reason that we are insisting on pasteurizing the eggs is so that we mitigate that risk even further and give the consumer confidence that whatever product they have on the shelf is safe for consumption.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's a very important point, which was actually my next question, Dr. Maja. But on the issue of vaccinating, you say that the H5 vaccines are already out and H7 in production. Is this the normal course of action that would be taken in any outbreak of avian flu vaccination?
Normally not. We actually have a policy currently standing that we do not permit for vaccinating for highly pathogenic avian influenzas. So this is going to be a deviation to that policy. And as soon as the policy is ready, it will be sent out, at least for, even if it's just for a week, for people that wish to make inputs to it, to make comments to it, to do so. But like you said, industry is suffering. We need to calm the situation down as quickly as possible, both for disease control purposes, but most importantly, for food security. Yeah,
absolutely. And on that point of industry suffering, one can just imagine the kind of knock that farmers, that producers are taking in the wake of this avian flu outbreak, Dr. Maja. Are there support mechanisms that now come into play for those affected farms?
The provinces have funds that are normally distributed for farmer support. So industry members that are suffering either from the outbreak or from drought are encouraged to approach the departments of agriculture in their respective provinces for some relief. It differs from province to province, so it's a bit difficult for me at the moment to say which province offers what support.
All right. Thanks very much for that. Dr. Mpho Maja is the Director of Animal Health at the Department of Agriculture as we continue to battle an outbreak of avian flu across the country. Important story that we're keeping our eyes on for you here on 405.